Hey, I'm here with Aasif Mandvi. Aasif, you've been, in comedy and news.
Yeah.
We followed your work. Fantastic.
Thank you.
How do you feel being here at the Muslim House at Sundance?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I am so happy and proud of the fact that we have the Muslim House here and MPAC, and this representation and this presence at Sundance in Hollywood, and in a way that I started in this business a long time ago, and the only roles I could get back then were either like a Pakistani deli owner, and then later I graduated to doctor, and then graduated to terrorist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was all there was, and now I feel like we are in a different world where there's so much representation now that I've not ever seen before, and it's really exciting to actually have I came to Sundance 15 years ago, and there was no place I felt that was for me where I could go. Now we have the South Asian representation, the Muslim representation. It's unbelievable to me that this even exists, and it's really great.
Well, in some ways, we're standing on your shoulders because you were one of the first, and you were probably one of the few. And 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we were all alone in whatever fields of work that we were in. But how did it feel at that time? I think you were on Comedy Central. You did a few movies.
Yeah.
You broke a lot of barriers. How did it feel as an American Muslim entering this field and saying, "Wow, I'm probably one of the few American Muslim voices here"?
It's interesting. I never walked around thinking to myself like, well, I'm an American Muslim. I really need to represent American Muslims. But what happened was, of course, 9/11 happened, and then the Iraq War, and then I got on the Daily Show, and suddenly I felt like I was thrust into a situation which I never asked for, which is that I was representing a voice that wasn't out there, and I was the first non-Caucasian correspondent on the Daily Show. And when I started there, I remember that feeling of I have the ability, and the Daily Show has the ability for the first time to have somebody who sits on the fence between cultures and can speak to the Muslim experience in a way that never before. And so it was actually very liberating for me, because I felt like I got to talk about something that I didn't even know that I wanted to talk about until I got that platform. And it was it was remarkable. And I used to have people, I lived on the Upper West Side in Manhattan at the time, and a lot of old Jewish ladies would come up to me and be like, "We love you on the Daily Show," but then there'd be a lot of Pakistani and Middle Eastern cab drivers who'd be like, "We love you," and then I'd have old Indian women come up and be like, "Are you married? Because we have a wonderful woman that you should meet." So it was like suddenly I saw that people saw themselves being represented in a way and talking about the things that we never talked about on news or in television at that time.
Comedy has a way of penetrating hearts and then getting to the mind. A lot of times we hear lectures and sermons that are frankly dry.
Yeah.
They don't make impact. What do you tell Muslims that, hey, let's try comedy as a way to communicate with the rest of the public?
There's many great Muslim comedians now, Hassan, Aziz, all kind, and so we see much more of a voice out there. But just, I think of myself, I'm a comedian in the sense that I've done comedy, but I'm an artist and I'm a creator and I'm a storyteller. And stories are the way that we change hearts and minds. Because, I have this hat that says facts, and facts are important, but facts unfortunately don't change people's minds. What changes people's minds is experience and the feeling of connection, and the feeling of hearing a story about somebody. When I did Sakina's Restaurant, which was back in 1998, I used to have an audience full of, it was about my Muslim Indian family, right? But I had an audience full of Armenians and Turks and Jews and all kinds of people, and just even white Americans. And they would come up to me and be like, "Oh, that's my family. That's my dad. My father talks like that." And that was an experience that you cannot replicate in any other arena, except in the world of storytelling and the world of creativity and art, because what you have is connection. People feel emotion. They feel something where they connect to somebody, and this is how we we see so much dehumanization. We see it in Palestine. We see it everywhere. The way that Muslims and other people are dehumanized. This is the way we counter dehumanization, by humanizing our stories and by telling our stories. And the more we can tell our stories, the more powerful and of a presence we have. And that's why the Muslim House and MPAC is so important as well.
Thank you. Thank you for helping us tell the human story about Muslims.
Thank you.